My name is Tania Wallace. I am a singer-songwriter, and I was at I believe to be one of P. Diddy's freak-offs.
That when they did the raid, I'm on them tapes, and there's multiple A-list celebrities running on me, including certain people that are presidential.
When it comes to jaw-dropping Hollywood scandals, Diddy's name has been making headlines with some shocking allegations recently. But what we're diving into today is on a whole nother level. Two women have stepped forward, breaking their silence about what really went down at his infamous freak-offs. And trust me, it's not just about wild parties. Their stories hint at unsettling secrets involving young individuals and a list of A-list celebrities that'll leave you speechless. Just when you thought you'd heard it all, this bombshell could change everything. Stay with us because this could be the biggest Hollywood shakeup yet. Truth really is stranger than fiction. This year has been nothing short of catastrophic for Diddy's once glittering career. One moment he was the untouchable music mogul, the next he's behind bars, indicted, and awaiting trial for allegations that could shatter his legacy. While plenty of rumors have swirled around these criminal accusations against Puffy, the latest revelations are more than gossip. They're shocking, and they come with receipts. This isn't just another rumor mill spin, it's as real as it gets, and what's being exposed now is both mind-blowing and unsettling. It all started when aspiring singer-songwriter Tania Williams opened up to TMZ's Harvey Levin on the explosive TV special, The Downfall of Diddy, Inside the Freak-Offs. Tania shared that she attended one of these notorious parties in 2018, thanks to a Saudi prince who flew her from LA to Miami. What she saw there left her stunned. The singer described a scene filled with clusters of people engaging in intimate acts, but what truly shocked her was the presence of young individuals and little people mingling with adults.
2018, I went to this freak-off. I looked to the right of me, and in the corner, I'm looking like, are those midgets? Because people were it's people over them, like it's people trying to hide what they're doing. They're all huddled up. So I'm like, what is that? But no, they weren't. They were little people. And, I don't want to say too much. They were little people. So
the whispers about Diddy and his inner circle allegedly having inappropriate relationships with little people have been circulating for months. But Tania's interview blew the lid off, bringing those rumors into the spotlight like never before. During the sit-down, Harvey Levin pressed her to provide vivid details about what she witnessed at that 2018 party. However, the singer seemed hesitant, clearly worried about saying too much. She did share one unsettling detail, that these little people were dressed like Harajuku Barbies and were sandwiched between walls of adults, making it difficult to fully grasp what was happening.
Use your common sense. Dressed up like little Harajuku Barbies, red lipstick, looking like real sex, revealing like cute. So I'm like, what the hell?
What were the little people doing?
Getting covered up, trying to cover up what they were doing. Just, I don't know, like being admired, being hid, something. But it's like, what are they doing here? Because this is a grown party.
Sensing that Tania was holding back, Harvey went straight for the tough questions, asking her directly to describe exactly what she saw. While she remained cryptic, her consistent focus on little people left no doubt about her claim. Still, her reluctance to spill every detail left viewers torn, some frustrated by her vagueness, others understanding of her caution.
About adults who are little people, or are you talking about minors?
Am I gonna get in trouble? I don't want to say I witnessed any of that crazy stuff, but we all have common sense. Little people, that's not supposed to be there.
You're talking about underage people.
It's a shame.
The interview has since sparked a firestorm on social media. Critics have accused Tania of complicity, arguing she should have contacted authorities immediately after seeing something so disturbing. But many have come to her defense, applauding her bravery for speaking out at all. Supporters also pointed out a critical factor: the ironclad non-disclosure agreements reportedly required for all attendees at Diddy's infamous freak-offs. For some, it's clear Tania, like so many others, may have felt trapped, scared of the legal and personal fallout that comes with breaking their silence. Diddy's legal team wasted no time addressing Tania's shocking claims, branding them as completely ridiculous and false. In a fiery statement, they accused the government of using these unsubstantiated allegations about Diddy's alleged dealings with little people as a strategic move to damage his case. They didn't hold back, issuing a strong rebuttal through TMZ. Miss Tania Wallace has no credibility, and her claims about freak-offs and minors are completely and categorically false. As we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, especially to factually ridiculous claims. Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail. The accusations against Mr. Combs are pure fiction. But just as Diddy's team was trying to extinguish the flames ignited by Tania's revelations, another firestorm erupted, this time a full-blown hurricane. Enter Adria English, a completely different woman with her own explosive story to tell. If you thought Tania's interview was jaw-dropping, Adria's is next level. She didn't hold back or sugarcoat anything. Adria, who's been making waves in the media lately with accusations about Diddy and his alleged criminal enterprise, finally got her chance to fully share her story thanks to Lionel B, who gave her the platform. And what she revealed was nothing short of mind-blowing. Adria disclosed the dark secrets she uncovered while working for Diddy, including claims that the feds informed her she appeared in some of the many tapes recovered from his mansion, allegedly engaging in inappropriate acts with famous politicians. The details Adria shared were chilling and graphic, leaving everyone stunned. If you thought Tania's account was heavy, buckle up, because Adria's revelations take this scandal to an entirely different level. Before diving into the juicy details about Diddy, Adria felt the need to address her past in the adult film industry. She didn't want anyone to assume she was trying to play the victim card for cheap publicity. For context, Adria revealed that her production team was behind the infamous Ray J and Kim K video that went viral years ago.
Ray J and Kim Kardashian to connect. If you look at the production team, you can see we have the same production team. You see mine was filmed first. Me, Ray J, Brandy, we all grew up in the same church, Church of Christ. Brother Norwood, their father, is my vocal coach, so that's how we already knew each other. But they got famous with theirs because Kim Kardashian had a little bigger of a name because of her dad.
Adria then shared how her story intertwined with Cassie Ventura, who would later become one of Diddy's most high-profile exes and, as many now believe, a major thorn in his side. Back in the day, Adria, her then-boyfriend Anthony, and Cassie were close friends. Cassie, like Anthony, was an aspiring model and entertainer, and both were signed to the same modeling agency at the time. She revealed they all had big dreams of meeting industry heavyweights like Diddy, dreams that, according to Adria, turned into a nightmare they regret forever.
Anthony is signed to Ford Models. Cassie is coming over to our apartment, hanging out. We're all friends. We actually started.
Oh, you was hanging out with Cassie?
Yeah, she would come over our apartment too, because her and Anthony were both signed to Ford Models. Cassie, she wanted to model, but she wanted to sing. She wanted to be an entertainer. And so we all had dreams to meet Diddy. So then
their fateful introduction to Diddy came when Anthony landed an audition for Diddy's Sean John campaign. Excited about the opportunity and knowing Adria was a huge fan of the rapper, Anthony invited her to tag along. Adria recalled the excitement of being in the waiting room that day, but something odd happened that stuck with her. She noticed a model they knew walk in, looking visibly shaken. She and Anthony initially brushed it off, assuming he was just upset about not landing the role. Little did they know that moment would take on a much darker meaning in hindsight.
Fast forward, Anthony ends up getting called to audition for Diddy for the Sean John campaign. So, long story short, we sitting in the waiting room, and one of his homeboys that frequents our apartment comes out of the thing, and he's looking mad, like, shh. And so low-key, me and Anthony laughing. We like, he must not have booked it. Like, he's salty. Like, we laughing to each other, like, you know. And then they called him.
But the real shocker came when Anthony was finally called in to showcase his talents. Little did they know the talent Diddy had in mind was far from what they expected.
So I'm on my two-way lining up some money for later on. All of a sudden, I just hear, man, fuck that. And the door had flew up, and it was, I'm like, what? He tripping. He was like, man, asked me to suck his. I said, who asked you to suck his? He said, Puffy.
Yes, you heard that right. Rumors about Diddy's long-standing behavior took a new layer of validation with this revelation. For those who believed his alleged exploits extended far beyond the infamous freak-off parties, this was the smoking gun they'd been waiting for. Adria admitted she wasn't entirely caught off guard by Diddy's demand for Anthony. Coming from a background in the adult film industry and working as an exotic dancer at the time, she was familiar with how the powerful and wealthy often operated. To her, it was just another example of how the game worked. Scratch their back and they'll scratch yours.
Because I had been an ex, porn star, and I was currently an exotic dancer. For me, it was regular scheduled programming. Like, it's just what rich people with money do. Like, he tried it. He wanted to see, you know what I mean? To me, it was more funny, but Anthony took more offense. Like, no, like, he got me fucked up.
Anthony ultimately landed the gig for Diddy's Sean John campaign, but not without a twist. According to Adria, the real deal was sealed when Tamiko Thomas, one of Diddy's handlers at the time, approached her with an offer. If she agreed to dance at one of Diddy's iconic white parties, Anthony would secure the modeling job. Adria said she didn't think twice about it and happily agreed, as she wasn't overly offended by what Diddy had already done at the audition.
And I ran into Tamiko Thomas, who ended up being, I call her handler, one of Diddy's handlers, wranglers. And she approached me with opportunity to help me and Anthony out. If I would dance at Diddy's white parties, Anthony can go ahead and book the campaign. I agreed to dance at the white parties. Anthony booked the Sean John campaign. He was everywhere. He was on billboards, buses, bus stops, cabs, in the magazine, all at the same damn time. He was everywhere.
Adria added that if anyone tried to search for Anthony's Sean John campaign now, they'd come up empty. Apparently, Diddy scrubbed it off the internet, following even crazier events that unfolded later, events that Adria hinted are almost too wild to imagine.
Right now, if you go and try to Google any one picture of that Sean John campaign, Diddy done scrubbed it all. I can't even hardly find a picture.
What could have possibly happened between Adria and Diddy that led him to scrub Anthony off the internet? It's the question we're all asking, and Adria didn't hold back as she spilled the tea. After eagerly accepting the opportunity to perform at Diddy's white party, she never imagined the price she'd end up paying. According to Adria, Diddy had already done a deep dive into her background and discovered her brief stint in the adult film industry, a piece of her past that he would later weaponize against her.
I didn't realize they looked at me like that. And I extra didn't know that Diddy had gotten word of my former career in the adult entertainment industry that I was manipulated into by an ex-boyfriend that I only did for 6 months out of my life. He got me to do the movies, and then when Diddy found out about it, they used that against me, and he viewed me as somebody that was sexually exploited, worthy, and he played on my heart. It's called coercion of the heart.
For those who had doubts about Tania Wallace's claims, Adria's revelations were nothing short of a wake-up call. While plenty of rumors about Diddy have made the rounds on social media, none have been this detailed or personal. Adria's courage to share her first-hand experience added a new dimension to the controversy. Adria revealed that Diddy preyed on her dreams of stardom, using her ambition as leverage to manipulate her into doing his bidding. She admitted to falling for it, thinking it was her big break, but instead of helping her rise to fame, Diddy allegedly exploited her, turning her into a pawn in his game of power and influence.
When I told him that I rap and I sang, he said I was dope. And he said he was going to bring me and I had a girl group out. Like, I'm the Beyonce of my group. They even told you that I was the dopest one. And it's called Coercion of the Heart. And he played on the fact that he knew I liked to rap, sing, and perform. And that's why he would bring me back year after year saying, you're getting closer, like initiation, you're getting closer.
According to Adria, Diddy would use her in negotiations with high-profile clients, allegedly coercing her into intimate situations that he recorded. These recordings, she claimed, were later used as leverage to maintain control over these individuals. Her words painted a dark picture of manipulation, power plays, and exploitation, leaving everyone speechless.
But it never happened, but he kept making me, we perform while he was wheeling and dealing and, getting jewelry from Jacob the jeweler, cutting a deal with this person, recording me and him over there so he can extort that person out of woo-woo.
Things just keep spiraling further out of control for Diddy. With these bombshell allegations from both Adria and Tania, it seems like the deeper you dig, the darker the hole gets. Speculation about the ironclad NDAs many of Diddy's workers and party attendees allegedly had to sign left some people questioning Adria's story. But she quickly shut that down, clarifying that while she knew about the NDAs, she never signed one during her time working with Diddy, leaving her free to speak her truth.
We all didn't know, but he had a plan the whole time, and that's why he made people sign NDAs that said, you can't talk about what we went through until 20 years after I died. But I never signed that.
The most jaw-dropping moment in Adria's interview was when she inadvertently confirmed that many of these encounters with high-profile individuals happened at Diddy's mansion. She also alleged that many of the alcohol bottles at his infamous parties were often spiked with hard substances. Yes, you heard that right. Adria described Diddy's mansion as a so-called arena of sin, with herself and other women caught right in the middle of it.
They had 3 stages, positioned throughout his mansion. It was where he lived. It was his residence. It wasn't a club. It wasn't a lounge. And so it just makeshift stages, 3 stages set up in his house. We were elevated above the crowd. And so, but we were instructed to only drink from certain.
Adria didn't hold back, sharing how her life has been forever altered by the years she spent in Diddy's world. She opened up about the toll it took on her, admitting that years of exposure to hard substances during those parties left her struggling to rebuild her life. She also speculated that many others who participated in these events are likely facing similar battles with the long-term effects of these hard substances.
I believe we all, and I know I do, have a chemical imbalance. Like whenever I drink anything, it could be 1 glass of wine, all of a sudden I'm a P-star, like on my mind, I just black out and I'm that.
There's so much more to unpack from Adria's explosive interview, cringe-worthy, dark, and shocking details that paint a disturbing picture of what allegedly went on behind closed doors. And this might just be the beginning. If you don't want to miss out on the rest of these jaw-dropping revelations, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. What do you think about the allegations from Tania and Adria? Does Adria's detailed and personal accounts of her history with Puffy make her story more believable? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We'd love to hear your take.